Hey, thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Conroy DeLuche. Our top story this afternoon, it's shining a spotlight here on a growing struggle for American farmers in Kentucky, where soybeans are grown on about 1.9 million acres of land, generating over $1 billion in revenue. For farmers caught in the middle of a trade war, a leaked text message from a top official in the Trump administration is leaving mixed signals. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
With a crisis looming for hundreds of thousands of American soybean farmers, a text message to a cabinet secretary appears to show concern within the Trump administration.
China has not bought a single export cargo of beans so far this year, which is not very typical.
Soybeans are the largest American export to China in terms of value, the country purchasing $12.6 billion worth last year. But in retaliation for new tariffs, China has now stopped buying, dropping those sales to zero. American farmers feeling the pain.
When China quits buying, our prices go down.
Now, this photo taken by the Associated Press at the UN last week is amplifying concern. It appears to show a text message to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent from BR, widely considered to be Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. The message reads, "We bailed out Argentina yesterday, and in return, the Argentines removed their export tariffs on grains, reducing their price, and sold a bunch of soybeans to China at a time when we would normally be selling to China." The message refers to a potential $20 billion aid package from the Trump administration to help stabilize Argentina's economy. But after that aid package was announced, Argentina suspended its soybean export tax and immediately sold shiploads of soybeans to China, another blow to U.S. farmers. In the message sent to Bessent, BR says, "This gives China more leverage on us."
So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape.
President Trump has suggested some money raised by tariffs could be used to help struggling farmers, and the Agriculture Secretary says the administration is working on a farmer aid package. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Now here at home, we've been dealing with a lot of dry weather lately, which I'm sure is not great news for all these farmers.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, it's been so dry. We really haven't seen those drought conditions really across the area. We did see the rain last week, but yeah, back to dry weather, at least for the next several days. So still sticking with it for us. And won't really see any measurable rainfall, at least for the next 5 to 7 days, that is. So yeah, the drought going to continue for us as we head towards this week and back into the weekend. Overall, looking outside, though, gorgeous views from Jeffersonville. As you look at downtown right now, current temperatures just into the upper 70s, 79 degrees in Louisville, 78 in LaGrange, and out in Shelbyville, 81 degrees. Further into southern Indiana, 74 degrees in Mitchell, Paoli at 75 degrees. As we look at some of those weather headlines, still going to be warm and sunny today. And by the end of this week, still some pleasant conditions, but we could be tracking some rain chances turning back into the forecast, at least into the middle part of next week. So we got a few days until that's possible, but at least looking at that hourly planner, we'll be back off into the mid 80s for us as we head towards this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. By the way, as we head towards this afternoon, those highs today going to top off right into the mid 80s. So nice, gorgeous day out there, but a little bit warm for fall. As we head towards that hometown forecast tonight, temperatures will fall off into the mid 50s, really across the entire area. Into Louisville will be a little bit warmer, where temperatures will be into the lower 60s. That bust out forecast hitting home today will still be into the mid 80s with some nice sunny conditions. We're keeping the nice sunny and weather ahead for us as we head towards this week. But will that change as we go towards next week and see a cool down? I'll be answering that coming up in just a few minutes. We'll send it back over to you, Conroy.
Thanks, Matthew. The federal government has canceled the annual report that has collected data and analysis on food insecurity for years. Local food pantries are worried this move could lead to decreased funding for their services. WHAS11's Alex Dieter talked to a local nonprofit bracing for more cuts and more change.
Glad we're here to help.
Plastic bags filled with canned and fresh vegetables, rice, and beans from the food pantry at Hope Southern Indiana. Executive Director Becky Romans says the nonprofit is serving 22% more families each month since spring, seeing an increase in need but a decrease in stocked shelves.
The increase has been going on since about April. And we've hit a couple of times within the last few months where we got really low on food. and had to cry out to the community to help fill our shelves.
We're seeing more and more clients because the price of food has gone up.
This Southern Indiana food pantry is feeling the impact after President Trump signed legislation sharply reducing food aid.
The Trump administration announced this month that they are ending the USDA's annual report on hunger in America, calling it overly politicized and rife with inaccuracies.
So I'm devastated to hear that the USDA is paying less attention to how many families are suffering from food instability. We know that a lot of times grants and funding are dependent on surveys that count the numbers of food insecure families, and if we're not counting, people can pretend that they don't know, and that's concerning.
40% of Hope Southern Indiana's food comes from Dare to Care USDA supplied food. The other 60% comes from churches, people, and businesses.
Everything from potatoes to hamburger helper to mac and cheese, pasta.
Like Duke Energy, who gave Hope Southern Indiana a $10,500 food insecurity grant to supply families on fall break food while they're not at school.
Many of the families that we serve get most of their meals, if not all of their meals, from school.
We don't want families to go hungry. We want them to be able to enjoy their break, enjoy time with their families, and not have to worry about food being on the table.
Trying to keep food on the table for their clients while bracing for more cuts they say could be on the horizon. In New Albany, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
The USDA says the last report will be published October 22nd, which will contain data from 2024. One man is in jail after he allegedly inappropriately touched a young girl near Louisville private school. 27-year-old Jacob Burnett is charged with first-degree sexual abuse. Police say on September 18th, a young girl was assaulted while waiting to be picked up from school. The child was able to capture a video of the man who police say inappropriately touched her before running away. According to LMPD, Burnett's arrest came after a tip from someone in the community. LMPD Sergeant Matt Sanders said in a statement, quote, "We want to thank the individual who came forward with the tip that led to this arrest. Your courage and commitment to protecting our community made a difference," end quote. Burnett is expected to be arraigned tomorrow morning. One of the three men convicted in the case of Crystal Rogers wants his conviction overturned, and he's taking his appeal directly to Kentucky's highest court. On Monday, court documents revealed Joseph Lawson's attorneys filed a notice of appeal to the state Supreme Court. Earlier this month, Lawson was sentenced to 25 years in prison for his role in the murder of Crystal Rogers. His team is asking the high court to reverse his sentence and conviction in Rogers' murder. Lawson's father and co-defendant Steve Lawson has already filed his own appeal after being sentenced to 17 years in prison. However, that appeal will be considered by the Kentucky Court of Appeals. Brooks Houck, another man convicted in Rogers' murder, was sentenced to life in prison. If he seeks an appeal, his case will also go to the state Supreme Court.